Hello. That's right, we're going to be reading Reddit threads today. But this time, we're going to be reading threads that aren't about me. Alright, quick rundown of the rules first. We'll be reading threads from a subreddit called AITA, which stands for Am I the Asshole? These are stories that people submit for other people on the subreddit and the internet at large to read and determine whether or not the person who wrote them is the asshole of the story.
Are we the baddies?
If they are, you may see the acronym YTA, which stands for You're the Asshole. If they aren't, you may see the acronym NTA, which stands for Not the Asshole. All right, let's go judge people. Okay, here we go. My juicy senses are tingling. Am I the asshole for deleting my cousin's precious wedding photos? Okay, just based on the title, yes. I'm just gonna go ahead and say yeah. I agreed to take wedding photos from my cousin Sarah's 26F wedding. She wanted me to take photos of her getting ready. Okay. Our grandmother putting a family heirloom necklace on her, the first look, the wedding, the reception, etc. There was also another photographer, a friend of the groom. Wow, I love the Pokemon rival energy here. I can just see them like taking pictures and then being like... There was another photographer who was taking photos of the groom and his side getting ready, and he was also taking photos at the wedding reception. Since I wasn't a professional photographer by any means, I told her I would only charge $50 the entire day. Oh, what? So you deleted $50 wedding photos. And when I say entire day, I mean it. From 8 a.m. until 10 p.m., I was with her taking photos and basically being harassed by her. No, he's NTA, isn't he? Oh. I was basically being harassed by her bridesmaids, and my aunt. She was a full-on bridezilla the whole time. Not just to me, but basically everyone, including her husband. It was a long day to say the least. Okay. Even though I said probably not the asshole, I also have to say we're getting a 17-year-old boy's perspective on a grown woman's wedding on the day of her wedding. Maybe cut her a little bit of slack. So after all of that, I went home, edited the photos, and copied them onto individual USB drives for people she might want to give them to. I texted Sarah a couple of days later, good, you gave her some time, to let her know they were ready and that I would happily meet up with her to exchange them for the $50. She never responded. For the next 3 weeks, I texted, called, got in touch with her mother, my aunt, and even stopped by her house to try and get photos to her. She evaded every single attempt. Dude, okay, first of all, can I just say, you not only took the photos, but you edited them and copied them onto multiple drives for $50. And from what I understand, it may be that you did them for free, as it turns out. 6 months passed since the wedding, and I was at the movies with my other cousin, 19M, who was Sarah's younger brother, and a couple of our friends. He tells me, by the way, Sarah was wondering when you were going to give her the photos. She said she would pay you the $10. I'm sorry, what? The $10? That's not what we agreed. That's not, you know what? I'm sticking up for this kid now. This is outrageous. If that's the only reason you're taking so long. I was livid. Yeah, I would be too. First, it was $50. Second, that was the deal from the start. I told my cousin this and said to tell Sarah if she wanted them, she needed to contact me within 2 days so we could meet up with the payment or I was going to delete them. Yes! This might come as a shock considering the title of this, but she never contacted me. The 2 days passed, I deleted the photos and erased the USB drives. Less than a week went by before my aunt called me in a fit because I, quote, threatened my cousin into paying me when she didn't have the money. You have $10. First of all, you have $50. Let's get that out of the way. Even if you're gonna act like it was $10, you have $10. You can't be like, I'll pay you $50. No, I'll pay you $10. No, I don't have the money. Let me see inside your wallet. Open up your wallet right now. I told my aunt that she has had a little over 6 months to pull together $50, which she knew was the agreed upon amount, that she refused to respond to me no matter what I tried, and that it was too late now because the photos were gone. Cold. I didn't think I would be clapping for the precious wedding photos being deleted at the beginning of this thread, and now I'm clapping for it. You know what? Fuck it. Standing ovation for the precious wedding photos being deleted. Yeah. You know what? Delete them and then get like one of your hacker friends or something to like scrape the hard drive and restore them and then delete them again. My aunt, uncle, and a few other relatives have been refusing to talk to me or my parents because I deleted precious photos that can never be taken again. All because of greed. Greed? It's $50. Not a yacht. Also, you had 2 photographers and the other guy was a professional, so you already got them. My mom thinks I should apologize and I'm just being stubborn. However, my older brother thinks I held on to the photos longer than I should have. Based, and that I should have deleted them after the first week of trying to get in contact with her and being dodged ignored. So, AITA for deleting my cousin's wedding photos. No! She had a whole wedding and then couldn't get $50 for the photos in 6 months. NTA. Exactly. Now, as someone who has had a wedding and is married, first of all, $50 for photos is a steal. It's basically free. It's basically free compared to what you're paying for the rest of the wedding. Compared to what the professional photographer probably got, the only reason that they're doing this is because the kid's 17. They probably begrudgingly agreed to the $50 and they probably grumbled to themselves like, he should just do it for free. And then afterwards, they probably just had such a bad attitude that they were like, let's just see if we can get him for free. I bet you the reason that they were evading him coming off and dropping off the photos is because they were hoping he would just leave them there and they would just take them. They would just take them and they would be like, oh, thanks for the photos. And they would never speak to them again. Look at this is what I mean about these titles. AITA for deleting my cousin's precious wedding photos. It's like when you read that title, you're like, yeah, of course you're the asshole. How could you not be? And then you read it and you're like, oh, but that's part of the fun of this is the bait and switch. AITA for moving out and causing my engaged roommates to struggle with paying for the wedding. How would you moving out have affected that? I, 32F, have known Kara, 32F, since 1995. Wow. Lifelong friends. In November 2021, she asked me to move in with her. Okay. Her fiance, M30, and her brother, M40. My apartment wanted to raise my rent and they were saving for a wedding, so moving in would help each other out. I wasn't on the lease because the landlord would probably up the rent. Well, you weren't on the lease. So that's not legal, is it? I don't know. Who cares? What am I, the cops? I don't care. I noticed after moving in that they'd spend their money on things they'd never really used. Oh God, here we go. Purses, shoes, random fandom decor, and they would go out to eat a lot. Okay, I know this is just a little thing, but I can't stand it when people put a lot as one word. Out of state vacations were every 2 or 3 months. That's kind of excessive. I mean, purses, shoes, random fan decor, they would go out to eat a lot. Like, okay, that's, some people like to spend money a little more than others, all right? It's not like they're out buying Lambos or anything, so let's calm down. They're just being a little bit irresponsible with their spending, which is fine. However, out-of-state vacations, like 4 to 6 times a year, that's a lot. How many of you take that many vacations? 4 to 6 times a year? That's crazy. I wasn't allowed to have people over. Okay. You're not the asshole. I'm getting so tired of this, man. I want to read a thread by a narcissist that thinks that they didn't do anything wrong. 3 months in, I wanted to bring over my BF at the time. It caused a huge argument. Oh God, why? Why? Are you gonna tell us why? After we broke up, she was adamant that no one else was allowed to come over. But yeah, but like why? Are you gonna give us her reasoning? She would go in my room when I wasn't there. Okay, yeah, that's a no-no. That's an invasion of privacy. In June, she started to call it her room that I was renting so she can do whatever she wants. Right, because she's not on the lease. And this is how they get her. Oh. I changed the lock on the door without telling her and closed the door just to see what would happen. I came home to the door being open and the frame being cracked because I must have accidentally locked myself out. What? Okay, you know what's funny though is that since you're not on the lease, they're gonna have to pay for that when they move out. What were they thinking? Are they're mean and stupid? In July, the water heater blew up and caused a flood. Within the next few days, everyone got sick. When I asked her to get it checked for mold, she refused. Okay, hang on. There's so much to talk about here. The water heater blew up and caused a flood. And then I guess since everything's wet and moldy and they're just like sitting in there in their crappy apartment with horrible people, they get sick and she refused to. Why would she refuse to get checked for mold? If a water heater blows up and floods your apartment, why would you not check for mold? How have you been friends with this person since 1995 and you haven't noticed that they're a mean, horrible person? Luckily, she didn't have to pay anything because the landlord covered fixing the water heater. Okay, that makes me think the story's fake. Sorry, you're saying the landlord covered fixing the water heater. What landlord sent from heaven did you stumble upon? She was relieved that she could still go on her California vacation, but everyone in the house kept getting sick every couple weeks. What is she, a Disney villain? She's like a mustache twirling cartoon character. She's just like, everyone's in the apartment like coughing and getting sick from the mold. She's like busting down doors and being like, I'll go on a vacation. I purposefully avoided the house so it didn't affect me quite as much as it used to when I was constantly there. Oh, okay. In November 2022, so they've been there for a year. This is all in a year? She busts down your door and takes California vacations while everyone's got the mold cough in just under a year? That's crazy. I came home and found black mold literally growing on the bathroom ceiling in different spots. Okay, how stupid are these people? So what are these roommates? This has to be fake. Who are these roommates that are walking around for months like I got the black lung pop? And they're not getting it checked for mold, and it's out in plain sight, and only our hero, protagonist of the universe, comes home for like 2 seconds and is like, there's black mold. I spotted it. It's right there in plain sight on the bathroom ceiling. And these people are just kind of like wandering around this apartment, just like, I wish we could improve our lives. Sadly, we just don't know how. Breaking down doors in the background, taking California vacations. The landlord's like, I'll pay for that water heater. Don't worry about it. I confronted her about it multiple times and she said it's calcium buildup. Oh, is this the stupidest person alive? Quick chat, pop quiz. What color is calcium? White. Yes, you absolute moron. The black mold is calcium buildup. Oh my god. Why would there be calcium buildup on the ceiling? I know they're positioning it, the thread writer, they're positioning it like they're not the asshole, right? But why are you friends? You were friends with this person for 22 years or whatever. Or how long since 1995? 27 years? I don't like to think about that. You never noticed that they're a fucking idiot? In December, they finally picked out a wedding date and venue. I completely forgot they were engaged. Oh, somebody's engaged to this person. His parents told them that instead of paying for the whole thing, like they originally said they would only be paying for half because she wanted an elegant look. Huh? Maybe they're the assholes too. Her parents are both passed away, so it's up to the couple to pay for the other half. My friends started freaking out because they hadn't saved the entire year. So they haven't saved the entire year, but they took a California vacation while everyone had the black lung back at their commune apartment. Is this a Chat GPT thread? In early January, my brother's divorce was finalized and he got the house. He asked me if I'd like to rent out a room as he'd rarely be home. He's charging me next to nothing. It's honestly an offer I couldn't refuse. Wow, your brother sounds like a saint. I took them out to eat in public and told them, oh, you paid for them to eat? I paid them for February's rent, even though I had my stuff moved out before the end of January. See, this is the type of thing that I'm just like, everything that the thread star does is like, oh, sainthood, right? And then everything that the other person does is just completely unreasonable, completely irrational, completely stupid and mean, and just like, no, you can't have anyone over. Why? Because I said so. And it's just like, are we sure we're getting the entire story here? They were shocked and went silent until last week when I was flooded with text. Apparently, I'm completely fucking them over. They said they're going to have to change the venue and she might have to return her $1,500 dress. You know what? Good on her for getting a $1,500 dress. They wanted me to know about how badly I fucked them over. She asked if I could spot her some money every now and then to help make up for my betrayal. To be honest, I'm over this friendship. Am I the asshole? Here's the thing. If it's all true as is, nothing left out, then I don't see how the thread starter could be the asshole. But there's so much stuff in this that I'm like, I don't know if we're being given a fair representation of things. Because, like, for example, this right here raises questions for me. I wasn't allowed to have people over. 3 months in, I wanted to bring over my boyfriend. It caused a huge argument. After we broke up, she was adamant that no one else was allowed to come over. Okay, but like, why? Are you like, was there a reason that she didn't want your boyfriend in particular to come over? Was there some sort of like situation at the house that maybe they were uncomfortable having guests in general? Why wouldn't you say like, she thought that blah 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 blah, and so that's why she didn't want anyone over? Instead, she just leaves it out. It's like, okay. So you guys have decided this is a fake post. I wouldn't be surprised. There's a couple of things in here that I'm like the landlord covered the water here. That's the most unbelievable thing in here. The landlord being like, oh, I'll pay for that. No problem. You guys don't have to worry about it. I've got it covered. Yeah, I call cap on this. Cap. Here's what I'll say. If everything is actually like as unbelievable as it is, if everything is depicted accurately here, they're definitely the assholes. These people, this married couple, they deserve each other. They're horrible. AITA for saying it's my wife's fault that my slacks didn't get packed for my work trip. What about my slacks? All right, sure, I'll bite. Hi, first time poster. We don't care. How about you keep that shit to yourself? I would hope that you wouldn't have multiple entries on this subreddit. My wife, 30F, and I, 31M, have been married for about 7 years now. I decided to go on a last-minute work trip, which caused me to have to book flights, hotel, etc. late at night and then fly out the next day. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if you got a last-minute work trip, maybe it's not a big deal that the slacks didn't get packed, but let's read on. I needed new work slacks for the trip since I've primarily been working from home in my current company, so we had to make a late night run to the local Walmart. Okay, what? You're buying work slacks at Walmart? To be fair, actually, they got the call late at night. So maybe 24-hour Walmart was the only thing that was open. I don't know what the work is, but it just kind of seems like that would be an odd choice. We also got some button-up shirts. When we got home, I had some stuff to finish up with the planning. Oh, very specific. So I asked my wife to wash my new clothes so that my shirts weren't so wrinkly. I handed her the shirts to wash separately and put the pants in the dirty laundry. Okay, so right away, I'm just gonna say, how come you didn't do that shit yourself? While they washed, she packed my suitcase and then added the shirts when they were done. When it came time to leave, I verified everything was packed. This guy, oh, you verified everything was packed, did you? Could you have found a more annoying way to write that? Yes, I double-checked my stupid wife's work. I verified it myself. I verified everything was packed by asking her if she packed my pants. She said yes. That's not verifying, by the way. No. That's asking. That's asking her if she packed your pants. Verifying is checking to see if it's in there. That's verifying. Cue to late the next night when I arrive at my hotel and my slacks aren't in there. Only my brown khakis and gray khakis. I called her pretty upset, asking where my slacks were. She got defensive. You're the asshole. She got defensive. You're the asshole. Okay? YTA. We found our first one. She got defensive and told me she thought she packed all my clothes. I had laid them out on the bed besides the stuff to be washed, and told me they should be in there. I made her check the laundry room to be sure. Why you got? It's just the way that he phrases things. I made her check the laundry room, like she's resistant to his enforcement. And she looked around the whole house before finding them in our bedroom laundry basket unwashed. You got the call late at night to go be a corporate stooge somewhere, and your poor wife, who you like bought all these clothes for, and then you passed on to, like, you do it. You didn't even specify. I had some stuff to finish up with the planning. Oh, okay. Well, if the clothes were so important, then how come you didn't handle them? You were not that busy, okay? Your poor wife. You're the asshole. I repeated a few times how I was frustrated that she hadn't packed them, but had told me that she did. Can I just say, imagine writing a Reddit thread about this. Imagine having this incident, the slacks incident, and writing out the entire thing for a Reddit thread. She said she didn't realize by pants I meant my slacks, and that she was busy trying to do other stuff and just had a memory of packing some pants with all the other things I had laid out. Listen, if you get the call late at night for you to go do your job, then it's your responsibility. It's not your wife's responsibility. She can help you. You're a team, but it's not her fault if your slacks don't get packed. I verified everything was packed. No, you didn't. Because if you had, then you would have your slacks. She also said it was unreasonable for me to get upset with her when they are my pants, and she didn't think she was expected to do a whole second load of laundry at midnight. Yes! 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 In the end, she attempted to make me feel better. Oh, why did she even bother, Mr. Verifier? By saying that it would be okay and my work would understand that sometimes things get a bit hectic with packing and traveling last minute. And I can buy more in the evening, hopefully. That's so reasonable and so much more comfort than you deserve. I feel kind of bad. Oh, good. That's the first thing you've said that I'm like, yeah, okay, good. You do have a soul. Because I could tell she was frustrated with me for blaming her. But in my defense, I did ask her if she had packed everything. Yeah, and she answered to the best of her knowledge. But she's not your mother. Oh, look at this, look at this. I accept that I am the asshole and have apologized to my wife. Have you signed the divorce papers that she served you? Hopefully. She responded graciously and told me she knows a lot of it was just my stress from traveling and worrying about work. We are good now, and I promise to do better in the future. Okay, you know what? This is good. This is good. I think there is something to be said about admitting that you're wrong and from the looks of it, taking your lumps, right? And being like, I'll try to do better in the future. What I did was wrong. I'm sorry. I messed up. And I can understand being stressed about a last minute trip, right? I can understand that. I don't really understand after the trip posting a thread on Reddit detailing the slacks incident. I don't get that part. But it's important to acknowledge when somebody admits that they were wrong and that they didn't double down on it. Like, well, I still don't think I'm the asshole. Thanks to everyone who engaged with me civilly in the comments. Oh, now I feel bad. Am I the asshole? I gave a standing ovation to his wife's response. Maybe I'm the asshole. I showed my wife the post, and she wants to say that she's a little surprised at how angry everyone else was. Oh no, she's surprised by people like me. She says she was frustrated, but knew it's not a pattern. You know what? And that's definitely worth something. Is that I think she recognizes that her husband was stressed at the time, and yeah, it wasn't something that they do all the time. It's not like every week they're like, babe, when did you pack my slacks? Ugh. YTA, you're a grown adult and should be doing your own packing and laundry. It is your responsibility to check that all the items were in the suitcase before leaving. I don't understand, but he verified that everything was packed by simply asking her once again. AITA for telling my employee that she cannot go to a specific bar tonight. I'm going to say YTA. I, 27M, work at my family's company. Okay, we're already in YTA territory, even if I didn't know what the thread was about. I'd rather not say the exact industry or my position, but I have 2 direct reports, including Nadine, 23F. We have a good professional relationship. I'm glad you have a good professional relationship with the 23-year-old woman who's your underling at your family's company. I would like to hear her perspective on it, though, frankly. Anyway, I'm meeting my bro tonight to see the new Ant-Man movie. YTA, we're done. That's all we need to read. Okay, so when you say your bro, you mean your actual brother? Or like your bro? Meet up with my bro to see the new Ant-Man movie? Typically, we would also grab dinner at the sports bar next to the theater. You're going to see Ant-Man with your bro, and you go to the sports bar? Oh, and you work at a family company, and you have a 23-year-old woman who's your underling? Oh, it's just... How many red flags can we get in such little time? But he can't get there until shortly before the movie starts, because it's not really convenient for me to go home before the movie. I was planning on eating by myself at the bar. Pathetic, I guess, but it is what it is. Okay, this is already a better thread than the ones that like the past like 5. Okay. Can we stop saying it is what it is? By the way, that's another red flag. I consider this a red flag. My complete coincidence, Nadine lives near the theater and frequently goes to the same bar. Okay, so Nadine goes to the sports bar. I asked her if she had plans to go to the bar tonight, and she said there was about a 33% chance she actually would be there with some girlfriends, but they weren't yet sure what bar they were going to go to. A 33% chance. Nadine's crunching the numbers. Interesting. So I guess they have 3 different bars that they usually go to. I guess is what that means. I told her I did not want her to be at the bar during the specific time I was there. Okay, we get to the plot. Let's go. My reasoning is that work is work and life is life. And as long as she has some other options, wouldn't she rather be in a bar that her boss isn't in? Okay, but that's her decision, not yours, though. Work is work and life is life. I couldn't have said it better myself, which is why you, as her work boss, don't get to boss her around in life. See how that separation works? YTA, you're the asshole. It will be awkward and we would have to talk about work. You don't have to talk at all. That's the great thing. The thing is, you're not at work and you're not her boss when you're just out, so she doesn't have to talk to you. In fact, I bet you anything she wouldn't want to talk to you there, especially if she's out with her girlfriends. Much to your disappointment, I'm sure. Candidly, I am somewhat embarrassed that I'll be sitting at a bar by myself eating dinner, so I don't want her there for that reason too, although I did not say this. That's understandable. However, you don't have to eat dinner by yourself at the bar. And honestly, I don't want to deal with the headache of trying to explain to my wife why I am at a bar with a female colleague and her female friends on one of the only nights I've been out of the house since our baby was born. Okay. Hopefully, since you just had a child, your relationship is strong enough to endure possibly being at the same location as your work colleague and their gaggle of friends that you probably won't interact with. Nadine is not going to be all over you at the sports bar, okay? She's not dying to be in the arms of a man who's eating by himself about to see Ant-Man, all right? You're not the Bachelor. You're not the vaunted Bachelor at this sports bar, I promise you. Nadine agreed, but I could tell it bothered her. Well, yes, because you're ordering her around outside of work. You're trying to take your work boss authority outside of work, which is funny because earlier you said work is work and life is life. Here it is right here. I didn't order her not to go. Okay. Technically I didn't order her. Yeah, but you told her not to. But she needs this job, and my dad is the boss. Okay, so I do acknowledge it would be hard to say no. Okay. I thought you was about to start threatening there. I mentioned this to my sister, who also works at the company, and she said I was completely out of line to tell any employee where they can go after work. Now I'm second guessing myself. AITA. Is this the cast of Succession? What's going on here? So I asked Shiv, my sister, Dude. At least, the sister gets it. Okay, they have an edit. I get that the consensus seems to be that I am the asshole. I like how bitterly they wrote the sentence, like, I see that everyone is under the mistaken impression that I'm the asshole. And as much as I might want to know not to protest a judgment here, I just want to address one issue that has come up. Oh, some information we don't know about. Let's find out. Due to where this theater is, what time I had to leave, and what time the movie started, we bought tickets in advance. There really aren't other places I could eat. Okay. We don't want to miss any part of Ant-Man. There are a few other places that are kind of close, but they don't have the food I eat. What food do you eat? Pray tell, what food is served at a sports bar that's so exclusive? What could they possibly have at a sports bar that's unavailable anywhere else? What's this exclusive sports bar food? Since she had other options, I just thought it would be good if we didn't go to the same place. Win-win. No. Inconvenience for her, convenience for you. It's not a win-win. I know this probably wouldn't have changed the judgment, and I accept whatever the judgment ultimately is, but I wanted to clarify that. Okay. My man's volunteering for tribute right now. He'll accept whatever judgment's passed down by the internet court. Here. Okay. YTA. This was a very entertaining thread, though. I did enjoy this one. Let's read some of the top comments. Oh, they've got the bullet list. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a meal solo at a bar. This is your insecurity to get over. Well, true. It sounds like they have an ego. Makes sense. You're using your position of authority in the workplace over this person to influence their social activities outside work. This is at minimum coercive behavior. Exactly what I said. If work is work and life is life, why should she be the one to have to amend her plans? Why not you? That's a good point. You would not have to talk to your coworker. You can simply acknowledge their presence with a nod, and each of you continue with your evening. No. Sorry, Illuminator 007. You don't understand. Nadine's gonna be hanging all over him with her gaggle of girlfriends about to go out to the club because that's just what his life is like, okay? They wouldn't. He's got to hold them off. He's got to tell them not even to show up. They won't be able to resist him. He's such a catch, okay? You don't understand. He just had a baby, all right? He's got to have that locked down. If running into a coworker at a bar and having a simple conversation with them is an issue between you and your wife, you have some trust issues in your marriage, you and your wife need to solve those issues. The problems in your marriage are not justification for you to request your coworker to amend her plans. True. Yeah, I mean, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Yeah. I feel like this is, what's his name from Succession? The most dramatic son. Whatever. You guys don't watch Succession. All anime fans here. AITA for calling my mom when my husband refused to listen to me. Is this a DHA? I, 26F, recently moved into my first home. I am also 4 months pregnant with our first baby. NTA. The pregnancy has been very hard. I have horrible morning sickness. It reached a really bad point where I passed out, hit my head, and my doctor admitted me to the hospital for a week. Damn. Okay. When I got home, my husband allowed his brother's family to move into 2 of our 3 bedrooms. My husband allowed his brother's family to move into 2 of our 3 bedrooms. Okay. They were evicted. I don't know why. You don't know why? If Kimmy's siblings' family was moving into our house suddenly and without warning, you can bet your ass I'd be asking, why? One room was my office, was tossed into our room, papers everywhere. The house was a complete wreck. Trash, dirty clothes, used diapers. What, just like sitting around? Just like used diapers sitting around? I started to cry. It was like a light flipped. My husband was no longer the same. My husband told me it wasn't that bad. My reply was, fine, then you should have the house cleaned up before I wake up. Get his ass. Completely exhausted, I fell asleep for 4 hours. I woke up, went to get a drink of water. I couldn't. Every glass we own is scattered around the house. Is your husband's brother's family The Gremlins? The new batch? They're just like gallivanting around your house, like drinking glasses of water and slamming the glass down and throwing used diapers around. Like, what's going on? They didn't clean a single thing. I passive aggressively started to pick up the dirty dishes and wash them. No, that's not passive aggressive. Passive aggressive would be if you picked up all the dirty dishes and placed them directly outside the rooms that they're staying in. That's passive aggressive. Picking up the dirty dishes and washing them, being like, I'll show them. I'll just go ahead and do the chore that they should have done. That's just passive. What's aggressive about that? The following morning, I was trying my best to work when their kids were crying nonstop, banging on the walls, so on. Their mom was in her room for hours, ignoring them. Their mom was in her room? What is the structure? So they've got 3 bedrooms, and they're taking 2 of them. So the kids are in one room, and the mom and dad are in the other. So the kids are like crying and banging on the walls, and their mom is just like, not my problem. When my husband came home, he was upset with me over how I didn't make his brother's wife feel welcome in our home. He cares more about his brother's wife than he does his own wife by helping with their kids when she was tired. She's 4 months pregnant. This guy sucks. They all suck. Everyone sucks. Then continued to complain how nothing was done while he was at work all day in the house. Yep, the same one he didn't clean. That led to a fight where I told him I am too sick to have company and they need to leave. To which he replied they're his family and he won't kick them out. Okay, you can have loyalty to your family, but the thing is that your brother's family aren't your only family. Your wife and your upcoming child are your family too. And you need to value and consider them just like you do, you know, you're related by blood. I started to cry again. I was beyond frustrated, exhausted. I physically couldn't do it anymore. I called my mom asking if I could come stay with her, telling her the whole story in front of my husband, who at this point was completely shocked, angry. Also, I could tell he wasn't sure what to do. I don't know what he expects when you tell him, hey, I'm too sick to have company, they need to leave, and he says they're not leaving, and then you say, well, I guess I am. What does he expect? My mom came with my brothers. I have 3 older brothers. My mom, super angry, told my husband, since your family can stay, so can we. Oh, her mom's the goat. On one hand, her mom's the goat. On the other, I kind of am like, well, but is this really the best thing to do, is to overwhelm the pregnant woman even more? Like, how many people do they have in their home now? They've got so many. My mom quickly took charge. I was sent to bed. Oh, I love this. I was sent to bed. My brothers started cleaning, complaining loudly at how disgusting my brother-in-law's family is. That's so funny. I love her brothers too. Along with what a horrible husband my husband is for putting me through this while I'm sick. Now this is passive aggressive. See, if they're cleaning, but they're complaining very loudly while doing it, like, boy, I wonder how things got into this sorry state. Who's responsible for this disgusting mess? I got a text message from my mother-in-law for calling me an asshole for not helping my husband clean up the house and putting my brother-in-law in an uncomfortable position by having my mom boss him around. The thing is that yeah, that's uncomfortable having your mom boss around your brother-in-law. But if your husband's not going to do it, then people that care about you are going to step in, because that's your mom is doing what your husband should be doing. So yeah, it's uncomfortable, but blame the husband, because he's supposed to be taking up that mantle of being your representative to his family. Edited to add update. Oh wait, is this is this where the thread ended before? No way. Edited to add update. When my mother-in-law showed up, she was super angry outside. They love saying super angry. It's kind of funny. I could hear shouting, but I couldn't understand what was said. Once inside, she was shocked. My house looked really bad. My brother-in-law lied to her about what happened. My mother-in-law quickly started to help my mom in the bossing mode. My house is not just cleaned, but deep cleaned. Oh my God. I love how this is like and everyone clapped situation. My brother-in-law and his kids are now staying with mother-in-law. She didn't know about the eviction. My in-laws helped them financially a couple months ago. My mother-in-law was not happy about it. Sister-in-law refused to come out of the bedroom. She would scream through the door, but that was about it until her family came to pick her up. Get him out! What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Last little bit, I did talk to my husband. He seemed very remorseful. Well, I would hope so. I would hope that all the embarrassment helped with that. I asked for some space. He is staying at a hotel. He asked to come by and talk to me tonight. My mom and dad are here. Both moms felt like I should have someone here since I'm sick. Both moms set up a meal plan. When they trade off who will bring me dinner, it was my mother-in-law idea. Thanks for all the advice. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, so like this is like way less a you're the asshole, you're not the asshole situation, and more just like a sad story that gets happier as it goes along. Yeah, so NTA, obviously, also DHA, dump his ass, also MIL, BAMF. Right? What is with this here? Sister-in-law refused to come in the bedroom. She would scream through the door, but that was about it. What would she do? Ah! Until her family comes and picks her up. I just imagine them slinging her over their shoulder, and she's like, ah!